having here a guest from the United States of America. He's a Black American. Brother, do you prefer African American or Black American?
I prefer American black man. I'm a kidnapped African. I'm a kidnapped African still stuck in
Yes.
America until
Mm,
I'm able to make my true transition to being
yes.
here on the continent permanently.
Mm. So today we will be discussing with brother here. He'll be sharing with us information about residents acquiring residence in Kenya because Kenya is becoming an attraction for African Americans, and it's important that you know what's really happening. What's the deal? What's the deal for African Americans? And I'm having here a good brother who has really shown us kindness by accepting the interview. Welcome, brother.
Yeah, brother Siddiqui, I go by brother
Yes.
Evans. I go by brother Siddiqui. That's
Mm,
a given name from a sister who gave it to me over, I
mm.
guess, like 40 years now. But that's why I like to be acknowledged that.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
what are your original names? Siddiq is an African
My,
name.
my original name is William. You know, I'm the
Uh,
last born of nine uh,
mm,
from a Maxon family.
mm,
I'm from the Maxon tribe in America.
mm.
So,
Wow, wow, wow.
and I'm the
So,
last of nine.
mm. So you're the
Mhm.
last of the nine. You're the last born.
Yeah, I'm the last. Yeah, the last button on Gabe's coat, as my mom used to say. That's a
Yes.
saying for me. I'm the last button on Gabe's coat. Uh,
Ah.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so your parents would give you favors. You know, here in Africa, parents tend to favor young children, and so the biggest favor I think they gave you is when they told you you need to make a move to Africa, right?
That's wishful thinking.
Mm,
I mean, my mother would have definitely supported my efforts and my interests. My father was just
mm,
a whatever you want to do, my man, and that
mm,
was my father. So but my mom, uh, it, as far as gave us that kind of encouragement. She's from North Carolina, South Carolina.
mm,
She's a Gullah Geechee sister.
mm,
My mother and father from South Carolina, and
mm,
you know, they didn't. They know they're. I guess you could consider there was several generations out of just being slaves, in America.
mm,
So
mm,
so you figure my mother probably would be like 100 and something now. My father
mm,
definitely 100 and something. Um, so that'd be my grandmother. She'd have been just that close, but my great grandmother would have been a slave. So that's how far we're out, of being slaves in America. That's a part of
mm,
our history, you know.
mm,
So uh, they had no knowledge of their people as far as us being coming out of the continent. So, because for 300 years, they didn't allow us to have any history. So our consciousness of who we were, what kind of
mm,
culture we had, none of that
mm,
was allowed to be practiced. So you figured we're new people, we're a new tribe, which is
mm,
considered a black tribe in
mm.
in America. So this is our history. That's our
Yes,
story.
yes.
So
I,
yeah.
I believe African Americans have a very rich history. You know, I've watched some videos where it is said that African Americans don't have a culture, but I believe African Americans have the culture. We have the hip hop culture, which has really resonated.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
has it
We
has
had
really
we had several cultures when you want to call and music. Look at our fashion. We've been
mm,
influences of fashion. We've been influenced and music, fluence, and just art of our own making. We were
mm,
stripped of everything and created everything. You know, the rest of the world, of our African people world, is influenced by us kidnapped Africans in America. Our culture
mm.
spans throughout the world. So we have culture. It's just people don't want to identify it as being a culture. You know,
Yes, 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 yes.
but you know, we're influenced. Look at the fashions of today. You know, it's coming. You know, I was part of the hip hop culture fashion. I'm one of the first hip hop fashion designers um,
Yeah,
of an era
yes.
of hip hop. You know, I
Yeah,
kind of followed one of the main designers of that era, Dapper Dan, out of New York. You know, which I
yes.
really didn't know about him, but just as a just a true creator, I was able
Mm,
to come up with designs and fashions that was just as innovative as the fashions that was coming out of New York. It wasn't like they influenced me any because I already had it in my own spirit and own creative thoughts to
mm,
create these kind of fashions. But I was right into the same era of development of hip hop fashion. So
mm,
so we do
mm,
have a culture, and we constantly evolving with different more culture, But culture is an
mm,
evolutionary thing, anyhow. You don't stay in one period. Some people like to stay in one period, but culture is evolves. The
mm,
culture of a
mhm,
certain amount of years and years. You don't hold on to culture. Culture is actually a change. So
mm,
it's it's nice. It's nice to know that we as a people have this
mm,
culture, and people should really
mm,
recognize us as being the influencers on the rest of the world
mm,
because we
mm,
come from a place where they want to consider the most developed world. You know, America was the first industrialized world, so and we were part of that industrialization because of
mm,
us, a lot of things, the rest of the world was able to capitalize off of it and expand their society because
mm,
of what was happening in America. We are that
mm,
influence, to the rest of the world. You can't ignore our presence in America because uh, as all these things were happening, we were ones that was helping to make it happen. You know,
mm.
that's what we was brought to America for, to be able
Yes,
to be part of the labor. But we weren't just
yes.
the labor; we was also the creators, the innovators,
Mm,
um, the inventors. That was our makeup. Of
mm,
course, they kidnapped when they kidnapped people out of the continent. They weren't just kidnapping just regular people. They were kidnapping the minds, the physical, the creators.
mm,
So
mm,
much of that uh, is because why America has developed to what it is, and you look at the losses of Africa, how much development did Africa have, after we were taken out of here? There was really no development that was happening. So we must have been an integral part of um, of Africa's development um, during a period of time when Africa was had a development period of time. So uh, you have to say, we are a cultural people. We're blessed people like that because, like I said, we took
yeah.
our skills and brought it into America.
Yes, yes. There's. I think that's interesting. It's really interesting. Before we go further, I would like us to at least answer some of questions that we're getting here. So,
Okay.
how long have you been in Kenya right now?
Well, this is my second time in Kenya. I've been here
Mm,
for a month and maybe a week. Uh, I love Kenya, especially due to the fact that you can the English language, and then
mm,
you see so much blackness. That's
yeah.
what I love. The fact that you can see you every day, all day.
Mm,
Of
mm,
course, you got sprinkles of these other um, I don't want to say invaders, intruders, but that's the way the world works, But I
Mm.
love the fact that we are the dominant
People.
population here, and
Yes. Yes.
it's a beautiful thing to know that your people run an area, because us in America, we don't run anything. So to
Yes.
be able to come home and see our people being the construction workers, being some of the store owners, the government workers, development, all of, all of the
Mm.
professionals of any
Mhm.
society is here in Kenya, and they look like me. You
Mm.
don't get it. You don't get that being in America. So
Mm.
that's why I'm so happy to be in a place that make me feel home, and
Everyone
I'm
looks like
comfortable,
you.
and I'm not
Yeah.
nervous. I'm at peace.
Yeah.
I'm at peace
Yeah.
here. I
Yes.
don't have to
Yes.
answer no questions where I'm going, how I'm going. Um,
Yeah.
why are you here? All of that kind of
Mhm.
madness. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried
Mm.
about being locked up for nothing. I'm not worried about being shot at. You know,
Mm.
discriminated in any sense. So
Yeah.
this is home. When you can say that you feel uh, not threatened
Mm.
in a place, that gives you peace. Many of
Mm.
us in America, we living under a whole lot of stress, and this gives you peace being amongst your people who
Mm.
know that who controls things. You know what I mean, and it
Mm.
will keep you safe because they don't recognize if you from out of the continent or in the from the continent. So that's this beautiful thing. Until I run my mouth and talk, you know,
Mm.
that's the only way they can identify me from being. I'm not from here directly. I didn't grow up here.
Mm.
So even when I tell them, I'm from, I'm a kidnapped African,
Mm.
and said I'm from outside of here. And so, what country you from? You know, so I have to let them know I'm from that land of so-called milk and honey, where everybody
Mm.
wants to go. So
Okay, okay.
uh,
Speaking of the land of milk and honey, many African Americans are choosing to move to Ghana. Ghana, as once it established the 2019 year of return, it invited many African Americans, and we've seen so many people, including the celebrities from US, going to Ghana. Many people have done the DNA test. They've found ancestry in Ghana and West Africa. So, according to you, Brother Siddiqui, um, uh, what made you choose Kenya? Or rather, what made you leave Ghana? Those are two different
well,
things. What made you leave Ghana and
well,
what made you
actually,
choose
my
Kenya?
first trip was Ghana.
Ah,
But yeah, it was
how
my
was it?
first trip in
How was it?
2017. You know,
Yeah,
I took a flight over into. I had a layover in Turkey.
yeah.
I didn't know I needed a visa to get into Ghana at that time.
Ah,
Um, Turkey wouldn't let me back on the plane after the layover. I
yeah.
had a 2 hour, 3 hour layover. I went to get on the
Mm,
plane, and he asked me for my visa. I didn't
mm,
have a visa. The person I was going to see over in Ghana didn't tell me
mm.
that I needed a visa. I knew I had to have a
Ah, that
passport.
was
I
bad.
had that. Um, well, once I tried to get on a plane, they denied me because I didn't have a visa, and they said, and people was telling them that from Ghana that was going to Ghana said he can get a visa on arrival. He can get one when he get there. Well,
Mm,
they didn't want to hear that, and the experience was kind of, uh, I was kind of nervous because of the fact that
mm,
they try to get me to walk out a door and an exit that would let me outside of the airport, which would have had me out of what are you going to call it? Out of well, I would have been in the country without
mm,
the proper documents, you know.
mm,
And I told them
mm,
I'm not going outside that door. How do I get downstairs? Because they told me, well, you have to get another ticket to go back then, you know, because you can't.
mm,
Otherwise, you have to contact someone in Ghana to be able to give you an invitation letter. After that whole ordeal, I already was saying, nah, let me go back to the States because I didn't want to
yeah,
run into any problem. So,
yeah,
but the funny thing about it, I was able to get a visa to get into Turkey to be able to get
mm,
into the airport so I can be
mm,
able to get a flight out, you know. So,
mm.
but that was my first trip. After that, matter of fact, it was like I stayed up almost like 24 hours, you know, because I didn't want to miss my flight or nothing like that.
Only,
So
only.
I stayed up. I already was on the plane for 16 hours, you
Uh,
know. So you figure now I stayed up. You know, I might
yeah,
have had a nap on the plane, but I stayed up all of that time
yes.
because I didn't want to miss that plane. Turkey, you know, there was a movie way back in the day called Runaway Train, and
Mm,
it showed a person stuck in Turkey. They went through all this horrific situation, and I
yes.
just that stuck in my mind. Said, listen, I'm not gonna be stuck in it in Turkey. So after
Yeah,
that, you know, I was in communication with someone in Tanzania. So
yeah.
uh, 6 months, 7 months later, I found myself in Tanzania, and I was going back and
Mm,
forth to Tanzania for the past 6 years. As of last year
mm.
was my first year that I wasn't in Tanzania. I had to
So
go back to Tanzania
why did you choose Tanzania? Why Tanzania?
because someone you know I knew,
Uh,
someone I knew. I use hip hop as an educational tool. Hip hop
yeah,
is one of the businesses I'm in. I use hip hop, uh, uh, children's hip hop,
yeah.
and as an educational method, which is called hip hop edutainment. You know, and
Mm,
I knew some young rappers that was over there in Tanzania, so
mm,
I connected with this young guy who I thought
mm,
was a very good young man. You know, I actually did a lot of stuff for him and his family. Um,
mm,
I, I put in a new sewer system, a septic tank. I built a store. I
mm,
brought water into the home. I built me an
mhm,
apartment there.
mm,
Painted the home. Brought
mm.
some new electric into the house. Brought
That's
built
good.
the kitchen. I did all of
Mm,
this just because I didn't want to be in a hotel, you know.
yeah.
So rather than me spending the money for a hotel, I went
Mm,
on and just put the money into the home that I was going to
mm,
be coming back and
mm,
forth to for the past, you
mm,
know. So I did that for, you know, I was my main objective my first year there. We discussed that to build a school. So that's what I
mm,
did. I started
mm,
building a school in a village. I seen how our
mm.
people were struggling. I
That's
didn't
nice.
realize, yeah, yeah, I didn't realize that how we were struggling like we are here on the
Mm,
continent. It's
mm,
just, it just amazed me that our people were still in this, uh, let me see, this lack of development in the
mm,
21st century. You know,
mhm,
to see this
mm,
kind of our children walking around, shoes, um, the open sewage, you know, no roads. Our people were struggling like this, and then it just touched my heart because this is my home, you know,
mm,
just because I haven't been here in my 61 years. I mean, at that time, 57, 6 years. I guess it was 54. It was 54
mhm,
years at that time.
mhm,
To not to see the development that uh, I thought Africa was in the same, um, let me say, had the same kind of development that America had. So I actually was thrown back by that to see that. So my passion came. how can I be of an assistance of where I'm from? You know,
Mm,
I didn't come
mm,
to Africa for a vacation. I came to be, a part of the development of the continent after that, after I seen what was going on. So, we
okay.
agreed,
So
I
let me
agreed to, go ahead.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Sorry for cutting you short. Now I want us to move back to Kenya and really answer the questions. So can you
Okay.
share with us? Can you share with us what motivated your decision to move to Kenya and acquire a residency permit here in the
Well,
country?
I found the ease. I found the ease of, coming there with the process. I was told that with retirement, as long as you had over 24,000 a year coming in
Mm,
monthly,
mm.
I think it's like, mm, I think it's like, well, at least if you're making at least 24,000 a year, you're
Dollars or
eligible.
Kenya shillings?
Excuse me?
Kenya shillings. Ah,
No, USD.
dollars. Oh,
Yes,
okay, okay, okay.
USD. Yes, 24,000
24,000.
a year.
That that's how much is that? Let me calculate.
That's like 1,200.
24,000. Let me search the calculator. So 24,000 times 150. That is 3.6 Kenya shillings. That's a lot of money. That's really a lot of money.
Yeah, well, I'm doing all right. There ain't no struggle. Well, that
Mm.
I found that out. Find out. I said I fit that criteria. So let me go and apply for that status. It
Yes,
was
yes,
easy. It was a simple
yes.
task. You need an address to come to.
Um,
The amount. You have to get a security bond.
yes.
Um, what else? You have that proof. You have the proof of your income, whatever, your social security, your pension, just those proof,
Mm,
one of the two, whatever one's greater, that will satisfy the government's interest of
mm,
your income. You're able to be
mm,
here, and that's basically it. It's just not too much detail. You people can
mm,
do it themselves. If you go to a lawyer, they're gonna charge you double the amount. It only costs you like 1,300 for a 3 year uh, uh, pass. Permit, 3 year permit.
mm,
You have to pay 100,000. What's that? 100,000 Kenyan shillings. Yeah, 100,000 Kenyan shillings for a security bond,
mm.
which is nothing. What was that? Uh,
How
that's
much is that?
100,000.
20.
Yeah, what's that? How much is that?
Um, how much did you
So
say it was?
I think a security bond. A security bond is. I think you only pay like really 50 something dollars. I think it is. You know,
Mm,
so 50 something, 100 something dollar security bond. The security bond is
mm.
100,000. Kenyan
Yes,
shillings. But
yes.
to get that security bond insurance, it's called assurance. It's cheap. It's not that much. So altogether, you're paying like about 1,400. For 3 years.
Okay, okay. Sorry for cutting you short. I'm just listening to figures and numbers. Can you place it in a summary, in a nutshell? Like step one, this, step two, this, step three, step four, up to maybe step five,
Those are the steps.
until the
So
time
I
you
mean,
requested the visa.
you acquired a visa within the week,
Mm. A week.
as long as you have the full documents, you can acquire all of that within a week time. You know,
How about the residency? The residency now.
that's the residency because you're getting a retirement residency if you're a resident. You know, you need the 24
Yes.
proof of the 24,000 a year. You know,
Yes. So that's the first step.
yes,
You
you
need
have
to
to
show
get
you
to
have you need to show you
no.
have 25,000 US
Yes,
dollars.
exactly, exactly,
Okay.
and
Maybe
which
the
is
second
cheap.
step.
The second
Mm.
step is you got a security bond. You know,
Second
you
step, security bond.
but you have to create an e-citizen account. You have to
Mm.
create an e-citizen account. Once you create an e-citizen account, that's how you're
Mm.
going to transact all your business concerning, uploading all the documents you need. You need, of course, a photo. You need your
Okay.
passport.
Okay,
Uh,
let me say this to the audience. The audience, eCitizen is a government platform here in Kenya where you can do anything that is required by the government. If you want to apply for birth certificate, ID, driver's license, eCitizen is where you can do all these. The immigration issues, eCitizen is the place. So when brother is saying eCitizen, I think of eCitizen like a portal where a government portal because it has something like extension of .co.ke.
also, when
eCitizen.
you apply for your visa, it turns into an
Mm,
e-citizen. Yeah, when you apply for
yes,
your visa from America,
yes,
for you to come in or applying for a
yes.
visa for Kenya,
Mm,
it's an
mm,
e-citizen account. It's created
mm,
then. So from there,
mm,
you connect everything from there. Everything's digitized after that, like the uploading your photo, uploading
mm,
your passport, uploading your documents for immigrations, all of those things, you're going to upload on that e-citizen account.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
So,
So good brother. If you said you are doing hip hop and maybe you might want to establish music or a hip hop industry,
well,
uh, in the,
what I actually want to do is I want to establish a Disney like amusement park, a Disney like television program, a Disney like uh, uh, live shows. I have some full body costumes called the Hip Hop Cats.
mm,
They all represents the elements of hip hop. You have Tiger
yes.
Mike, you have DJ Cash Scratch, you have Flip the Breakdancer, and History Graffiti artists, and they sing hip hop, rap, and rhyme songs to educate, children. You know, that's
Mm,
the whole objective is to use hip hop as an educational application. I was doing
mm,
that in America, but I believe it will move a lot better and faster here in Kenya. And also have something called some characters, full body costume characters, also
yes.
called the Big Five. And the Big Five
Yes.
represents, the hippo, the rhino, the lion, the
Mm,
giraffe, and
mm,
what's one more? And the elephant. you know.
mhm,
So,
mm,
but and then I have female character cats, like the hip hop cats. They were once called. They were once called uh, DJ Prissy and Go MCs and DJ Prissy. But since they're
mm,
in this environment here, I changed their name over to the Swahili Daughters. So it's three of them. So they
mm,
they also use Swahili and English and
mm,
rap form, educational, fun messages.
mm,
My main objective with my trademark, I own the trademark, Hip Hop Entertainment. My company, Mike Check 1212 LLC, owns the
mm,
trademark Hip Hop Entertainment, which um, I'm looking to bring here in Kenya. I'm
mm,
looking to create an industry out of the term, but hold it under the control of my company, Mike Check 1212 LLC.
mm,
Kenya don't have it, Africa don't have it, even America don't have it, where we own and control our own industry. And this is what we need to be doing. We need to come to Africa and create our own industries. So the fact
mm,
that we can be the benefactors of it. We
mm,
always give away what is our natural resources
mm,
for others to capitalize off of, but we don't utilize it our natural
Mm,
resources. That's our, whatever we got in the ground
mm,
to the fact of our talents. We don't capitalize off it for our own benefit. And we don't create industries that we dictate the messages, we dictate the usage, and dictate the cost of it. So this is what I'm looking to do with this hip hop edutainment concept.
mm,
I have tried to set up a company. I have set up a company. I had a lawyer here, but scrupulous dealing. Actually had to get rid of him and move on. So now I have to restructure everything. So the fact that I'm looking to uh, make something happen. You know,
mm.
so I'm definitely looking to establish a company here. But
Yeah,
there's
yeah. Good luck, brother. And I
I
pray,
take a
I pray
blessing.
you
Hold up,
will.
that luck can be bad, so I take a blessing. I say good
Yes,
blessing. You know what I mean?
yes,
Luck can go either way. You know what I mean?
yes,
But I never
yes,
heard a blessing to go the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that though. Appreciate it.
yes, yes, yes. I give you my blessings. And I pray that everything you touch gonna prosper. Yes.
Oh, okay,
So
thank
let's
you,
go to the
brother. I
second.
appreciate it.
Let's go to the second question.
Hmm.
Were there specific aspects of Kenyan culture or lifestyle that attracted you more than those in other African countries?
Language. I'm able to communicate here. It's easy to
Mm,
communicate with people. Our natural language in America, we aren't like our brothers and sisters here
mm,
on the continent. You had multiple languages that you grow up with because of the
yes, yes.
nothing was ever taken from you. You know what I'm saying? On the
Mm,
reality, as far as culturally concerned. So
mm,
but us in America, us kidnapped Africans in America, we were stripped of everything. Like I said, we were like domesticated animals in America, So we were on that same status. We were allowed to eat foods. The only foods we were allowed to eat is what they gave us, from the
mm,
plantation. You know,
mm,
we're allowed to practice our own cultural language. They beat us out
mm,
of us. If we try to communicate amongst each other the same language, we were tortured.
mm,
Nothing about us was allowed to be practiced. You understand?
mhm,
So we by having that kind of by me able to communicate here, it's giving me a comfort zone. Even though I'm gradually learning Swahili, of course,
mm,
at my age, it's going to be but so much that I'm able to retain, you know. But I probably know a lot more because of the fact that I was just traveling in and out when I was going to Tanzania. I was
mm,
traveling in and out, so I never really retained. I just kept certain words here and there, so I never really had the opportunity really to apply it with any consistency. Because normally I would just stay for a month, two, you know, and then I was back out for another 3 or 4 months.
mm, mm,
But the culture here is love. It's a lot of love here, you know.
mm,
Uh,
mm.
but sometimes it can be a real love, sometimes it can be a fake manipulating love. So
Uh,
you just got to
yeah,
watch and find out what that love really is. But the
yes.
people are very friendly here. The
Mm,
acknowledgement is there. As soon as you speak to people, they acknowledge you. There's no bad faces. It's not like sometime in America you speak to a brother or sister, they look at you like, "Oh, you want what you want from me?" You know what I mean? You don't want to say nothing, or they like look at you with an attitude like, why are you speaking to me? So to get that kind of interaction in this environment is a beautiful thing. You know,
yes.
I feel
Yeah,
I feel a lot of the peace. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's young.
yeah,
That's young and old. Young and old.
yeah.
They will
Mm.
acknowledge you. So it's a beautiful
So,
thing.
okay. Would you mind telling us how much did you spend acquiring Kenyan residency, so that we can be able to, so that someone who is watching can be able to equip themselves and know, uh, so that they get
The
ready.
maximum you have to spend is like $1,500. fifteen hundred
$1,500.
USD. Yes,
Yes.
that's the maximum. You know,
$1,500.
you'll be able to definitely acquire.
A
You know,
visa.
just take the time. Just follow the paperwork. Follow the procedure on the eCitizen, you know, portal,
Yes.
and it will
Yes.
guide you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You don't have to have no lawyer. You know,
Yes.
you use a lawyer, like I said, it's gonna cost you probably like $3,000. That's how they're gonna try to get you to three
Yeah.
grand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is unnecessary when you can do it yourself. You know what I mean?
Um, um, wow. 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 So the total amount at maximum that you're gonna use to acquire residency is 225,000 Kenya shillings as of today when we are recording this video. Brother has said that it is 225,000 Kenya shillings is equivalent of 1,500 United States dollars. So that's how much you're gonna spend trying to acquire or acquiring a visa, residency. Brother, how much does the residency last?
3 years.
3 years.
2 years.
So,
Then you re up another three, and
mm,
after that you can apply for citizenship. That's what I'll be waiting for. After I believe
mm,
5 years. After 5 years, you get your citizenship. And, you know, if
wow.
you're upstanding citizen, you know, there's no infractions of any kind relating to your
Mm,
immigration status.
yes.
You good. You know, then you become a citizen. Then you have a dual citizenship. You know, that's what they
Mm,
allow here in Kenya. Dual citizenship.
yes, yes, yes. Well,
You know,
yes.
it's a beautiful thing, man. You know, to be home and to be welcomed home somewhere you can be home. Then you can also
Yes.
own land. You own land. You also you can purchase a house. You can
And
Airbnb it out without any problem. You can do that right on your retirement. Which, you
yeah.
know, at this time I'm looking into some. Once my paperwork is all the way done as far as my company is concerned, I'm looking
Mm,
to build some housing. You know, a
yeah.
housing complex, and I'll be, you know, hopefully selling them for like 20, you know, 1 or 2 bedroom for like
Mm,
25,000. You know, you can own one. So
yeah.
that's an opportunity for some. You know,
Yes.
I'm introduced to an elder who has some
Yeah.
property that
Yeah.
he's living on, and he wants to renovate it, and he wants to put a housing complex on it. So
Yeah.
apartment complex. So you know, I'm looking to invest in something like that, and
Yes.
it's an opportunity for other African Americans who might, or you know, from people from the diaspora who's looking to have a place to stay or turn into an Airbnbs. Like I said, the maximum I'm looking to offer is like 25,000. You know, for a
Yeah.
place. You know,
Yeah.
so it's a comfort. You know, to be able to come
Yeah.
back home and say, you know, you don't have to worry about it. You know,
Yeah.
you know, especially an older person or even a younger person who has it like that. You know,
Mm,
you have residual income just as well. You know, to be able to say, I have a place. Or you want to pass it down to your children. You know, you can say you
mm,
have a place on the continent. My main
mm,
objective. I'm not trying to. Uh, I'm not really trying to get paid off of people on the continent like that because I'm already, you know, I'm comfortable, but at the same time, you know, we are our people need to be able to come home. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
That's the thing. Yeah, we need to be able to come home, and we have, and another thing, us Africans, kidnapped Africans coming home, we need to be almost in a location of our, not just of our own, but you know, we have to be like somewhat of a tribe because we're coming back to the continent not knowing, and we need to be in a community like any other people new to an area, just like our people, brothers and sisters coming to America. They do the same thing. They congregate in a certain community that they're familiar with, people that they're familiar with. You know, they still interact with the rest of the public, but at the same time, we have to come and congregate and build a community ourselves. There's a sister, Traverse Culture. She's doing something. She's been awarded some land, but it's a beautiful opportunity because you get a house built. It's a 2 or 3 bedroom homes. But you must have a certain amount of money. Like I think the starting uh, cost for to be on that land is 150,000. You know, and that's for a certain status of people who have a certain kind of income that can afford that kind of dollar. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but myself, like I said, I'm looking to build places where that's be more affordable. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
25,000 in a housing project. It's not open land, you know what I mean? But there's housing. It's housing. You know what I mean? Some of us don't want to. Some of us don't want to cut no grass. Some of us don't want to, have to maintain any kind of gardens or. Some of us just want to be able to come to the continent, have a nice, comfortable, safe location, and be able to go out into the public and just enjoy being in Kenya. So that's another outlet. Not all of us are so adventurous that we want to go out. We want to build, something, or some of us just on that retirement mode, or just want on that chill mode, and just want to come home. Just come home and be safe and be welcome. So this is
So,
where we need to be.
so brother, are you living with your family in Africa or just alone?
I'm alone. I'm alone right now. I do have family in America. That's another scenario. Because when I go back in April, I'm packing. I'm out. So anybody want to come can come. If not, you know, because this is going to be the second half of my life. I never had an opportunity to be in Africa with any consistency. Right now, I sold my home last year. I'm done. I'm done with America. America has done me well, and it's also done me dirty. So at the same time, I'm keeping it moving. As long as the ancestors continue to bless me to make my way back home, I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life. And if I pass here while I'm here, don't bring me home. Don't bring me back to the States. I
You love Africa.
yeah. It's no need. I've been a kidnapped African for 61 years. It's no need for me you know, to bring my body back there because my soul is on the continent. So it don't make any sense. My family all knows. They all know that just as well. That I don't want to be brought back. My physical. If they want to see me, they come. They come to see
Yes.
me. They can see me off that way. You know. So there'll be money there for them to come. They can take that money. The money be available for them to take it and bring it behind to the state. I
Yeah.
mean to the continent. And
Yeah.
I don't want my
Yes.
money to ever leave the continent. If they want it, they got to spend it here on the continent. I don't want my money to leave here. Once it gets here, I don't want it. If I make it here, if you want it, you got to come here and utilize it on the continent.
Yes.
So that's my philosophy. So,
Yes.
uh, but being here on the continent is where we need to be. It's just part of our reality. America is about to change. All these wars is going to bring nothing but demise to the demise to America. If something happens in Africa as far as the economy goes down, we already struggling over here. You know, but the hardship that's going to hit America with its money changing over, Africa is going to be the go-to. Africa money is going to go up, and America's money is going to go down. So it's best to try to get your money circulating here on the continent now before that change happens. I don't know how soon it's going to happen, or how late it's going to happen, but there's signs that America is about to change economically. So
Yes.
if you don't get wise to it, you got to diversify your dollars. At least that, if people have 401ks, they diversifying it into companies that don't have nothing to do with black people.
Yes.
So black people who have their money in 401ks should need to invest some of that money onto the continent because they're not doing it
Yes.
for them. Utilize some of those dollars and help build where they want to come back to. You
Mm.
know,
Mm.
so but that's just this is a conversation. As you notice, that's going around anyhow. As far as us coming back to the continent,
Yes.
this is
Yes.
why that's why we're having this communication or this conversation now or this interview now is because of that. You know what I mean? The world is changing. It
Mm.
started, of course, from the year of return. And they tried to stop that movement. Because the year after that, I'm not a conspiracy theorist all the way, but I have to add that as soon as they seen the success of the year of return, what came right
Mm.
after that? COVID.
That's, there
You
was
know,
a flooding of African Americans.
yeah, but after that flooding and Ghana making that 1 point something billion off of us coming there, the following year they hurry up and kicked in the COVID restrictions. You know, they had. Can you imagine if they never stopped um, that movement of us Africans, us kidnapped Africans coming to the continent? Can you imagine how many would be here now?
Mm.
Imagine if the year of return was actually a continental wide uh, practice or invitation. Can you imagine
Mm.
what had happened? You know, if these other African countries was smart or had some, you know, overstanding
Mm.
about what benefits it brought to Ghana,
From
you would think
the
everybody
thing
else would
happening in
like
Ghana would
duplicate the
happen.
whole concept. Who?
Yes. Yes.
Why wouldn't you duplicate something that you seen was that benefited another part of the continent? You know, all they have to do is apply the same concept. Like Kenya can do the same thing. We thought
Mm.
this visa thing was related to us, and then next thing you know, oh, this is not for you. This is for everybody. This is for God
But you
damn.
include everybody. You
Huh?
include everybody. All Black Americans are everybody. Everybody
Oh,
includes
and
Black
that's what
Americans.
it is. Because some of us are mixed, right? We mix with Chinese, we mix with
Yes.
white, we mix with
Yes.
Indian. So
Yes.
that's everybody.
Yeah. Mm.
That's everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Yeah.
You would think, you know, we're people that has almost like $2 trillion spending power. When you
Mm.
when you think that you would just that, and we're the biggest consumers as Africans in America. We're not
Mm.
creating that. So would you think that African countries would be like, listen, let's get these people on the continent. They got all that money over there, you know what I'm saying? So they have skills, they have everything, and they like to spend their money. So let's get
Mm.
them in here. Let's give them a visa, give them a daggone,
Yeah.
give them some ugali. Let's give them, some boga,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
chapati. So listen,
Mm.
we would cut with the right invitation, brother. If any African country was just to say, listen, African Americans, you just come home. You got citizenship here. You know, you have the rights as a citizen. We can't give you land right now, but if you can afford to
Mm,
buy some piece of land, you're welcome. Do you know how many of us would come and bring our
mm,
money,
mm.
and how fast the economy would grow because of the skills that we're bringing and the finances? Game changer, brother. That's a game
Yeah.
changer. But I don't know.
Yes.
It must be somebody in these African leaders' mind saying, one people you don't let in your country, don't let those African Americans, because they know how to make change. They
Mm,
make some moves, and
mm.
believe
So,
me,
so
whatever they do is going to become a trend, and it's going to change the whole game. It's going to mess up our whole program, and plus they're going to come in
okay.
there and enlighten too many of our African people on the continent.
Yeah.
We're a problem. We're a problem,
Let,
brother.
let me ask you this. So, when you're walking the streets, do you give the impression that you have money and as Africans tried to, con you because scamming is rampant. If somebody notices you
Man,
have something, they'll try and scam you.
brother, listen. It must be how I rock my gear, because
Mm,
there's other people who walk by. You know what I'm saying? I know they're from Kenya, but when I
mm,
walk by, everybody got a sob story. Everybody said you got a little, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
mm,
it, it's even the swagger, or I don't talk. It's not like I talk, you know, but they can recognize that you're not from Kenya. You know,
mm. We can tell.
you know, yeah, and not robbery. They know who you are,
Mm,
bro. You know,
mm.
so I've been hit on several different fronts. I've been hit on several different fronts. Here.
Can you
You
name
know,
at least two instances where someone tried to scam you?
well, one incident is somebody who I met last year. You know, who was supposed to be,
Kenya,
yeah, who
a
I was
Kenya.
supposed to be Yes, I was supposed to be working with him, and
Mm,
he turned around, and I had, he took me around last year. I was part of the hip hop 50 year of hip hop that was here last year, that United Nations, I mean, um, was U.S. Embassy put on last year. Um, he took me to the Nairobi celebration, 60th year at the Uhuru Park.
mm,
I did an interview. I did a radio interview, online radio interview. So he made me feel comfortable. I knew him for 6 years online. I supported his album. He's a conscious rapper uh, in Kenya, and so I got comfortable, and I left him my camera equipment, because I was working with him. I was
you
looking,
trusted me
you
that
know,
much.
listen, bro, he had just had a new baby. He's supposed to be working with me with the hip hop edutainment thing, you know what I'm saying? So I assumed that he was genuine, you know what I mean? Because like I said, he was a positive MC rapper. And I turned around, and since he was working with me, I put him up. He was in a bed sitter. His lady just had a baby, and I said, "Well, since you're working with me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you up in a one bedroom, so y'all have more room. Because a bed sitter, you know what a
Mm,
bed sitter is, brother. You know
yeah,
that's just like that's one room, a bathroom, and you just
yeah,
there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And that's
yeah.
and what it means, bed sitter. That's where you're gonna sit on a bed,
Mm,
everything. So I put him in
mm,
a one bedroom apartment. I did that for 8 months. I didn't see nothing happening, so I had to pull my dollars back. You know what I'm saying? He had to, he had a job. It's not like he didn't have a job and everything. After I told him that, I think I informed him, or he assumed that I was coming back at a certain period of time. he informed
Mm.
me that he was robbed. You know,
Mm.
he said he was robbed. I didn't ask him where he was robbed because I didn't want to hear my camera equipment and everything being robbed. So I said, "Oh man, sorry, apologize." And then he finally, a couple of days later, he said, "Yeah, I was robbed. I didn't tell you where I was robbed of." I said, "I don't want to hear nothing about my equipment." He said, "Yeah, I was robbed. I was on a border when I was going home. Someone pulled up on me with a gun and asked me after a concert show." You laughing because you know the whole spiel. He said
Mm.
he was robbed by somebody at gunpoint. I said, "This is some old rap boss, excuse me. This is some old rap uh, theme song that he had in his mind, you know what I mean, that he was robbed." But they didn't steal his phone. I said, "Where the phone? And why did they steal your new sneakers on your feet? Why did they take it?" So he had everything. He said he had everything with him. He had my microphones. He had my tripod. He had my gimbal. He had all my cameras. He had all my lights. He did all this on a border.
Mm.
He had everything. He was on a border with all of this equipment. I said, "Oh man!"
Mm.
But come to find out, I got another secret.
Mm.
Someone sent me something, and he even had a nerve to put in a police report.
Damn.
He put in a police report. Do the police look? Are they fond of anybody who files a false police report?
It's a punishment.
It's a punishment. I'm
Mm.
hate. I'm gonna hate to deal with him unless he's gonna get all my stuff back. I'm gonna hate to deal with him. You know what I mean? Because I
Mm.
got evidence that is going to definitely address him. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's definitely going to address him. But and then my second incident is as a lawyer for my residency.
Mm.
I sent him the money to pay for the residency because I was doing this in America. I was going through the process in America. I get
He
here,
didn't
come to
even pay.
find,
He didn't pay the money
I
for the residency.
no, brother. When I got here,
Damn.
it wasn't paid. That was a 200,000. That was the
That
1,500.
would
Or
have
the
that would
yeah.
have put you in a very big problem. It would have put you in a very big problem with the
He
government.
said
That
he
is not
had the receipt. Yeah, he said he had the receipt and everything. What I mean, I went on my site and come to find out that the payment wasn't made. He said, "Oh, they messed up. I don't know why they messed up." You know what I mean?
mm.
But I'm gonna look into it. I said, "So you can just send me a copy of the receipt then, so I can be able to have it." So I got the receipts. It's back in my office. I'm not in my office. Man, please, brother.
Yes.
To this
Let me
day, he
say
hadn't had no receipt.
let me say thank you to my brother from the States. Thank you so much, Sir Carlos Ortiz. Thank you so much. I will continue working hard. I'm always working hard to ensure stories of people reach the right people so that there are some problems you can try to avoid. By testimonies such as the one Brother Siddiqui is giving, we are able to avoid problems that would otherwise been have met with you. So at least um, you can learn something. And Brother Carlos, once again, thank you so much. May God bless you abundantly. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Carlos, for supporting the brother. He definitely trying to get some right information out here. And
Yeah.
he made me some good connection with some of us kidnapped
Mm.
Africans trying to get our voices out here to
Mm.
enlighten us to coming back to Kenya. I feel
Yeah.
Kenya is one of the best places for us to be able to be acclimated to being here on the continent. Because they
Mm.
have the infrastructure is excellent. It's you have the of course, there's needs some upgrade. I mean, some development in some places, but overall, your highway's the best. You have the best roads. The place I'm in, it's solid ground. Uh,
Mm,
it's like a project setting, but security everywhere. Um, uh, Paved everywhere. It's very nice, and they have a new development going up where you can also purchase homes. You can purchase apartments.
mm,
You can stay in them or you can Airbnb in them out. It's legal.
mm, mm.
So it's a beautiful thing, to have you continue to do this kind of work, brother. We
I'm
definitely, we
trying. I'm
definitely need
trying.
this. You
I'm
know.
trying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you ain't trying, bro. You're succeeding. Succeeding. You're all over the place right about now. Uh,
Mm.
I guess you don't have to tell me about the dashiki you was gonna change because you was in a regular shirt before. Now you flip the script on it. You see this.
Yeah.
I had this made in Tanzania. When I was over there,
Ah.
yeah, this was made in my colors. The
Wow.
uh,
Wow.
the Marcus Garvey color. I'm a Garveyite. You know what I mean? So these colors represents the whole of Africa. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm always identifying and being recognized by Garvey. So
Yeah.
that's why we come in here.
Yes.
Garvey was
Yeah.
the influence. Without
Yeah.
Garvey's influence, he was one of the ones to advocate for us Africans to return home. But they
Yeah.
were able to stop him. If he had made it to the continent, it'd have been totally different in 1920s. And in
Mm,
1922, 20,
mm,
you know, those years he was trying to work with um, with Liberia, you know,
mm,
but the government stopped him. American government, the Liberian government, and Europe stopped Garvey
mm,
from being able to uh, get a visa into Africa because
mm,
they knew the influence Garvey had just on the strength of what he was doing in America and
mm,
around the world. Of
mm,
course, it all started. He established it in Jamaica, but it didn't go nowhere in Jamaica. But once he hit the American uh, within the Black African community in America,
mm,
we assisted in that movement going to the top. He's the biggest
mm,
organizer in the world of us
mm.
African through us African Americans. He had the biggest movement ever. As no one has been able to accomplish what Garvey was able to accomplish. See, that's
Yeah.
that's that's why my quote is like you doing Garvey, not just talking Garvey. I'm coming home to build. So
Mm,
that's why I'm at. I'm also a fashion designer. So this is something
mm,
I design. I didn't just design it, I can sew it too. I've been sewing since
mm,
1978. Once again, I'm one of the first hip hop fashion designers. I'm looking to bring to Africa all my sewing machines. I have 25 industrial sewing machines. I'm looking to bring over here to Kenya to create, sewing factory, not just
yeah.
clothing, pillows,
Yeah.
curtains,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, uh, cushions, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to put people to work, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all about creating employment, utilizing our
Yeah.
skills and knowledge which we have in America. We need to bring it here onto the continent, you know. So
Yeah.
this was my objective in Tanzania, but due
Mm,
to the fact communication is hard. It's hard in Tanzania, to really conduct business when you don't have the language together.
yeah.
This is why it benefits you to come to Kenya because Kenya
Mm,
you can speak. Most of the population speaks English and Swahili, and along with their other languages, their native languages.
yes. So of all the
Your
countries
voice
in
went off, bro. Your voice is down.
oh, okay. Of all the
Okay.
countries in Africa, can you hear me?
Yes, you clear now.
Okay, okay. Someone was calling. So of all the voices, of all the countries, of all the countries in Africa, Ethiopia and Tanzania are the only countries which are not Anglophone in East and Southern Africa. These are the only two countries which are not. Uh, can you hear me, brother?
Yes, I can hear you, family.
Yeah, these are the only two countries which are not Anglophone. Language is an issue, and it's a really big issue. You can't do business. You can't live with people if you can't talk. You can't be living alone. You have to talk with them. And I'm thinking that is a problem you faced. You know, Tanzania also seems to be a socialist republic. They follow a lot of ujamaa. Ujamaa is socialism, which is a form of communism. And we also have Ethiopia on the other side. Ethiopia is not an Anglophone country also. It's very hard. I'm told it's hard to find individuals speaking English by itself. Maybe right now they are, but I was watching some documentary many days ago, and I was told that. Mm. So choosing a country which is an Anglophone, a country that speaks English is important for African Americans who are moving to Africa. Brother Siddiqui has just told us that he left Ghana with his situation in Ghana. He moved to Tanzania because of language barrier, mainly. He left Tanzania and now he's residing in Kenya, where he has acquired his residency. And remember, I told you about residency will take up to 225,000 Kenya shillings, which is 1,500 pounds. That is for residency. Everything, all expenses. So you don't even need a lawyer to. A lawyer will just spend more money from you. You just need to talk to your embassy. Just talk to your embassy and it will take you through. Right, brother?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't really talk to my embassy. I actually had the lawyer handle it, but after he took my money, I had to go back through the process, and come to find out, it was just simple. It wasn't that difficult to.
You paid him for nothing.
I paid him attention. That's it. I paid his, or I paid him no attention, but
Mm.
yeah, but I got over that. That's the scenario. All you have to do is follow the procedure on the eCitizen, you know,
Yes, yes.
for the immigration requirements. If you need to hit me up, always hit me up on doing Garvey uh,
Mm.
at gmail.com. Doing Garvey at gmail.com. You know.
Actually, I'll be coming to your place to we will organize a live video. No, face to face physical video where I will have a story of we'll have a full story because I've escaped a lot of questions over here. Now I want us to end the live stream, but I want you to answer this one for me. What advice would you give to other African Americans considering a move to Africa and specifically to Kenya?
Make you know make sure you're comfortable about not being as comfortable. You know,
Mm.
I mean, understand that not all the amenities aren't going to be in place like being in America. Sometimes your lights are not going to go. Your lights are going to go out. Sometimes your water might go out for a brief. You know, there's
Mm.
sometimes that's infrastructural things, but it's nothing compared to what your experience is going to be and what your experiences are in America. At this particular time, I'm renting a place, which is I'm paying. It's a 3 bedroom, which I'm paying less
Mm.
than $200. I'm comfortable. A couple
Mm.
times my lights are going out. You know, uh, water's already always been there. but you know, I'm comfortable. You know, just a quick brief. I just got my furniture in today, and
Yes, yes, yes.
I just
Wow, that's a beautiful color. That's
yeah, isn't
velvet.
it? Yes, I just
Wow, that's a beautiful one. That's a two-seater. Wow, that's beautiful. That's
yeah,
really good. Mm.
yeah. So, and I just had that custom made, you know,
Yeah. Mm.
and that cost me less than $500.
Mm.
You know, it's just,
Wow.
you know,
Wow.
I'm still waiting for my pillows. You know, there's some flaws that need to be addressed, but you know,
Yes.
the fundi, which is the
The carpet.
carpenter, or he'll be
Yeah.
he'll be here tomorrow. You know,
Mm.
coming come to Africa is is a it's a stress reliever. If you're an actress, you're a brother, older brother and sister who experienced Africa. I mean, experienced America. You
Mm.
know, it's a stress reliever, and financially, especially if like you retired. You know, that's the thing. They need to flip that. They need to flip that retirement. If you got Kenya's not going to do anything for you. There's no welfare system here. You know, and it's, so if you come in here and you say you have an income of only of shit, you get $1,200 a month or
Mm.
$10,000 a month. You know, you listen. Some people don't get that kind of money here.
Mm.
You understand? Some people,
Mm.
you know, not 10,000, but 10,000 a year. You know, twelve
Mm.
thousand a year. If you bring it home
Oh,
a
you think
thousand, if you got
mm.
$1,000 coming in a month, you doing all right here in Kenya.
Mm. Mm.
You know, they shouldn't put that restriction on. If us kidnapped Africans want to come home, let us come home. Let us come home and build. That's the whole thing. You know, we have an income to contribute to the society of Kenya or wherever we are here on the African continent. There's no welfare system here. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's
If we could come here and create a basic business and
yeah.
say put the stipulation that you got to hire at least one Kenyan. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? That's the stipulation. So you're employing somebody, but you got to employ and maintain yourself just as well.
Yeah.
Bless, you know, we be blessing each other. Plus, all this money is start coming into onto the continent. You know,
Yes.
so you know, they, I'm just appreciative that I was able to get my residency. Uh, there was other bumps and bruises with doing that just as well. I'm waiting for my alien card. Once I get my alien card, I can get my bank account. You know, you need an alien card for you to get a bank account here. That's another
Mm.
stipulation that once all your paperwork is done, you have to apply for an alien card. And your
Yes.
alien card will allow you to get a driver's license, will allow you to have a bank account. If you got money coming
Mm.
in the states, or you know you want to establish a company here, you have to have a bank account here to be able to shift that money here. You know,
Mm.
uh,
Mhm.
to be able to open a company here,
Mm.
you have to transfer $100,000 in the bank here.
Mm.
But the benefit of that of your company is tax free for 10 years. You write tax
Wow.
write off for 10 years. You're able to
Mm.
write off taxes here, you know.
Mm.
So those are some of
Mm.
those incentives. Your your VAT when shipping all your stuff in here from America or your business, you know,
Mm.
is what's called trade free, what's it called? Tariff free, bringing it
Mm.
in, you know.
Mm.
So those are the benefits if you have that kind of money. and want to start a company here, you know,
Mm.
which is definitely my intentions. With because like I said, I want to create that amusement park. I want to create the television show,
Yeah. Yeah.
the live shows. These are all the things
Mm.
I want to do. Plus my sewing factory, all of that
Mm.
stuff I want to be able to do. So
Mm.
and you also get you get working papers for that, and you can open any
Mm.
kind of business that you want. You know what I mean? From there, you can open up a restaurant. You can open up
Yeah.
a hotel. So with that kind of money, it's just not like you just put your money in the bank and it's safe. It's not like you have to worry about any wrong deal unless you're gonna go to the Bank of Evans. You go to Bank of Evans and say, I got this money and I want
Yeah.
and hopefully it's safe, Evans. Hopefully I'll put this 100,000 in your hand. So
Mm.
don't go to Bank of Evans and try to get open an account.
Those
So
recognized government banks, such as the Kenya Commercial Bank, you can go to
uh
Cooperative Bank of Kenya. These
uh
major banks is where you should place your money.
there we
Yes.
go. There we go. And
Mm.
Bank of Africa too, isn't it? Bank of Africa.
Yeah, we have it also.
Yeah,
Yeah, Bank
yeah.
of
So
Africa, Barclays, ABSA, all that. Yeah.
okay, you know a whole lot about money, man. You put a lot of money in the bank or what? What you
No,
do? What you got going on, bro?
I, I live in the country, so I know.
You know a lot of banks, brother. I don't know. I got to check your credentials, man.
You don't have to worry. Oh, God.
That's cool, man. That's cool. At least you know
Yeah,
your banks, man. And listen,
yeah.
to hang out in Nairobi. What's our town called, brother? What's the
Mm.
immigration area? What area is the immigration area? What part is that?
Gigiri, Gigiri,
Yeah, that
Gigiri.
that over there, man. You will love it. Got different shopping areas.
Yeah.
University of Nairobi's over there. I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
you would enjoy that area, and they have the best park
Mm,
that I've ever experienced.
mm, mm,
Uhuru Park. That is the
mm,
best. I'm telling you. You know
mm,
what I mean? Only
mm.
thing they're missing is live animals. They need to get an area where they need
But
some live animals.
we have fish
Huh?
in that water. There's fish.
They're fish in there?
Yes, there's fish.
Man,
The
well,
small fish.
yeah. Well,
Yes.
listen, bro. I didn't see
Yeah.
any fish. So I didn't. I didn't go to paddle boats or anything for me to be able to see if any fishes. And
Mm,
I didn't go that close
mm,
to the shore. It was a little wet out there. It had rained earlier,
mm,
so I didn't go that
mm.
close to the shore to be able to determine. What they need to
Yeah.
do is to build a dock. To make it even nicer, to build a dock all the way around that water over that way so people can like sit or walk around it. It makes it a lot more appealing.
Mm, mm,
So but the park is excellent. uh there's safaris right inside the city, so you can go to a safari right inside the area
mm,
in Kenya, to where you can be able to see the giraffe, the hippo, all the safari animals you can think of. They're there.
mm, mm,
So,
mm.
but that's it. That's
Oh,
my closing words.
okay,
You
okay. So
know.
we have a lot to say. I will come and we will have an interview,
Okay,
physical
brother.
interview,
You're
where
welcome.
um I hope you'll still be able to join us in the live stream in the future days.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know if you invite me. I'm around. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying.
yes.
I'll be here until April. Until I have to go back and have my stuff shipped back here. And I'll probably be
Yes,
back in
yes.
June. You know. So,
Mm.
but you're welcome. I don't know how to make chapati yet. But I can have some chai made for you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
we can sit down and I might
Yes,
can order some ugali for you to be able to munch on. So I could do something for you. I ain't gonna, I'm gonna be a good host. I'm gonna be a good guest, brother. You know what I mean? So,
yes, yes, yes,
for you, something you could have bite or or mandazi or something of that sort.
yes.
All right?
Chapati, mandazi,
Yeah,
viazi.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
And deal. So I'll make it happen. Sour, sour, sour.
okay, sir. Now,
Uh,
uh, good good people, I we have to end the live stream. I have not read the comments right now. Forgive me for not reading out the comments, but I was seeing the comments. I will reply with these comments maybe in another video. But thank you
mhm.
all for joining. Thank you, Pap D. Thank you, Sir Carlos. Thank you, Sincere Supreme. Thank you, the sixth region. Thank you. Who do we have here? Thank you, Hazel Lawrence. I think I don't think she's around now, but thank you. Thank you, Deborah Morgan. Thank you, Kumina Kido. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, the sixth region, Kumina Kido. Thank you, Charles Abbey. Thank you, Charles Abbey. Thank you, Sincere Supreme. So we have to end the live stream here. I hope you've learned something. You've been asking me about residency and all that. Now you've listened. And thank you, Brother Siddiqui, for allowing me to interview you.
You're welcome,
It's a
man. Thank you for
privilege.
having me. I
Mm,
appreciate it. All right.
yeah,
You stay
yeah.
black, you stay strong, and keep it moving, brother. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
You
all
have a
right, family.
nice have a good night.
Okay, brother. I'm taking it down, man. All right. Be safe.
Okay. Safe.
Peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
Oh, go ahead and